Greetings. This topic is weird. I assume you read the title and got confused or got like what? And the title is that you get drought from oversaturation, and like both are things that are opposites of each other, and they cannot cause each other. A drought cannot cause oversaturation, and oversaturation cannot happen with it like from a drought. Like what the hell, you know? So, why did I say that there's a drought that came from oversaturation in creativity? What do I mean by this? Let me present my argument. My argument is very simple. I'll use Steam, and then I'll continue like with other platforms of media and creativity. So let's start with games on Steam. Steam has the service Steam Greenlight, where you can put your games on them, and a market flourished called the indie market, independent developers market, right? I think that's what it's called. We like to call them Hindi developers just for the hell of it. and and the thing is with indies is back then they were the shit, you know. There weren't many of them, so and most of them are either like people who quit the AAA industry and decided to do something on their own, or a team who worked hard to do it. But now that everybody saw that it can be done, everybody's making a game in their backyard, and it's not. This is not necessarily bad, but right now it seems to me that a lot of that basically there's a drought of good content out there in games. Like, there aren't as many good games as there used to be before. Before I could, like in the PS2 days, I can buy games based on how good the what do you call it, the desk looked like, you know, like when you get the CD with the case and there's an image, a poster on it, that you look at that and you're like, oh, that looks like a really fun, colorful, quirky game. Let's buy it. And then you play it and you have fun because that's that, you know. You never needed to look at reviews and whether the game is good or not and how much it annoys you whether this or that happens. And I think that's lost. Now I would not even pre-order a game even if I'm super hyped for it. Cyberpunk 77 is a game I've been licking its balls ever since the title showed up, right? And to this day, I did not pre-order it. And, like a game I know I'll play to death, which is Crusader Kings 2 and Europa Universalis 4, these two games, you can pre-order their DLCs, which are huge expansions, and they're very fun, and I've never regretted buying a single expansion. Like, this company has proved that it has good quality. I will still not pre-order it, because pre-ordering is stupid. You know? To me, at least. Which is... like, there was a time where I could do like pre-order and go to bed, but that time has went and passed. I don't trust any of you. You know, I'll wait until I see whether people like it or not. I'll watch some gameplay. I'll watch some stuff like that, and if I like it, I'll buy it after, without pre-ordering. I'll lose on that special thing you wear because you pre-ordered it. You know, and I think the reason for that is like people know there are so many games out there, and as the quantity increases, the quality decreases. It's a shame, but that's what happens, right? And a lot of people are just repeating the same things, or making a fresh new thing that they don't have the capability to make, and so they make it shit and nobody cares. That's the indie market at this point. Which is option B, and option A is the AAA market. Rarely do you see like you know, a game like 200 games gets released a month by now or something. I don't know the stats, but let's say 200 mega games, you know, AAA and AA games gets released a year. What, 3 of them are good if we're lucky? If we're lucky, 3? 5 if your standards are low enough. And you're like, why? It's just because just there's so much of it. There's such an oversaturation of the media that there's a drought of the good quality. Everything got mixed up, and now it's just a clusterfuck of nothing. And people who want games that are good and spammable, just like me, just sit in the background. And this isn't unique for games. People are complaining about mumble rappers. That's the eventuality. If a lot of people start liking rap and wanting to make rap, the quantity of the produce increases, and because of that, the quality that used to be up there starts decreasing. It's just the way it goes. Look at fucking painting, you know? Fucking painting. God damn it, painting. Um, like, how many shit modern art pieces of garbage is there? And look at the time where it didn't used to be. Like, the days of, like, what's their name? Michelangelo and Donatello and all these Renaissance artists, right? Like, their quality's off the roof because there weren't much of them. Then you go now, and as the quantity increases, the quality. Why am I looking at the camera while doing this? There we go. And now there aren't many good paintings out there. There are, but if you're snobby enough, it's just the rate. It's a rate thing. So, people, I don't think, the first generation always is admired because that's a generation that had to be the top quality for the thing to start over to begin with. And I think right now, uh, people, and that's video, makers of creativity in general, are failing their test. Their test is add a legacy, add something. And of course, there are people who are adding something, but I'm talking about the majority. This should be the mentality of everybody, which is leave a legacy. Leave something that people can look and aspire to and want to make things from, right? Otherwise, just make it and sell it to your neighbors instead of oh yeah, that's another thing. People do also most of these things, not rap, but maybe rap, I don't know. But either for the fame or the money, especially game development. We'll make a game, we'll make some buck out of it, I'd rather make games and make money off that than work at a shop or whatever. Here's the thing. There are two types of jobs. Creative jobs and manual labor jobs. And this isn't proper definitions. I just realized, but fuck it, I'll define them now. Creative jobs are jobs that are required from you to design, create, generate something with the knowledge you have. So it's making a new thing, whatever it is, whether it be a house if you're an architect, a painting if you're a painter, some music if you're a musician, songs, singers, whatever. Anybody who produce something out of them, they put it, and that's worth something. And then there is the manual labor jobs, as I call them, and they are the jobs that are made to maintain certain things. Somebody who started the business is from the creative category, but somebody who is maintaining the business is from the manual category, which is keep the sales, hire a group of people who are creative people who can create things for you, put them, manage the money, move it around, send it to the office worker. The office worker writes all the data, writes the complaints, sends the money. Let's call it maintenance job. How about it? It's creating jobs and maintenance jobs, right? And I haven't seen anything that is outside of these two in the jobbing. This is abstract enough that it can fit a lot of things. There are always mixtures of the two. Somebody who is working on YouTube, works and tries to be creative and maintains his viewership and his Patreon, and he has to do live streams when he doesn't want to, blah blah blah, stuff like that to maintain his channel. So there is a degree of doing both, but one of course leans more than the other. And I think a lot of people who should be doing maintenance jobs are doing the creative jobs, and it's that simple, really. Yeah. I'd love to hear you guys' take on this one. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on the issue. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment in the comment section if you're interested, and I'll see you in the next one.